Corona that is flying into space. Currently just hovering about, I would say, 60,000 miles or 50,000 miles above the surface. I wish I had good visibility today. I would do an amazing video of this. I'm trying to improve my contrast, but my focus, but this is really not a matter of focus. It's just when you're imaging at this higher focal length, you're always gonna be dependent on the weather. Right, let me try to share this just a few social networks. I don't get many views from YouTube, I guess probably just because I don't have many followers on YouTube, but that's okay. I'll still gonna post here and also on my other networks. Right. So this is a part of the corona. This is part of probably a prominence that is about to be shot into space. It's hovering over here. Let me try if I can. It's already pretty dark compared to the rest of the sun, meaning that it's getting hotter and hotter. Right, let me just, I'll try for once to share it into Reddit. Hopefully maybe get some insights from members in Reddit about this. And let me just do another one. Yeah, that's okay. So there's my scope right here with these two fans that one is cooling all this part there with the filters and all that, and one is dispersing the hot air that is coming out of the cooling system in the front. I don't know what this thing, probably is just the sun reflecting over something. And the temperature of the camera reads 49 degrees, which is pretty high, but as long as it doesn't get above 60, then we'll be okay. So this cool CME here, I'm not sure that it is CME yet, because it's still floating here. You see this like half banana here. So unless this is gonna be shot to the left, it's still just part of the prominence. Maybe I can do like a flat over here just to improve the contrast. Let me try that. Okay, I guess it did improve a bit. There's still a lot of like haze over the left side, but it is because of the sun's light reflecting over parts of the filter, so there's nothing I can do about it. All I can do is just, overexpose here and try to play with the curves here. So hi Lee, good afternoon. So this part is what interests me, this thing that is floating there. I've never seen anything that far away from the sun with this filter, so this is very interesting. The first time I'm seeing such a phenomenon. If this will be shot into space, then this will become a CME, a coronal mass ejection, which means, part of the corona, millions of tons of particles just flying into space to this direction, which is kind of left, but it can be left towards Earth or left towards the other side. We don't really know because we're not looking at a 3D representation of this, so it's kind of impossible to know. But still super interesting what will happen to this. So I'm just gonna wait here and see what will happen to this part. The visibility should improve in the next few hours, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. I think my focus on the secondary camera isn't that good, but okay, it's okay for now. This is just to help me see if there are any clouds coming in. Look at how bright the sun is. I kind of, I'm doing the shortest exposure possible, and still the sun is like huge in this camera, in the small camera. Right, so look, this part probably came from here or here. There's this arc there, and if this will be shot into space, it's going to be very interesting to see. Also, it's going to be very interesting to see if it's going to drop back to the surface. And unfortunately, because this part is so bright because of the sun, I'm kind of having a hard time to decide if I want to do a time lapse or not. I think it's going to be very hard to process this. I can try though, but it's probably not going to be that good. What do you think? I can do something like this. You know what? Like stretch this like it's a nebula. So I'm hoping you see it at least as good as as I'm seeing this. Let's try to focus on, yeah. So this thing here is a part of the prominence that was shot from the sun and is apparently just floating above the surface. About I guess I would say this is about maybe 40,000 miles. Yeah, about 40,000 miles. Let's try to do another flat here, just to try to compensate over this bright area. Let's see what's gonna happen. Yeah, no, it didn't really help. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, the flats aren't really helping with this this contrast here. But we're still able to see this thing. It does change in shape, which is pretty interesting because usually when there's a prominence that's coming and rising from the surface of the sun, it's falling back like in kind of a droplets way. It's something that's called a coronal rain, because it looks like a rain over like it's raining to the back to the surface of the sun. Yeah. Yeah, so YouTube is telling me that I need to use lower bitrate. Oh, do you see that? I think it was a bird or something. Something just flew by. Good thing we're saving this live streaming. We can later look and see what was there. All right. Right. Maybe I'll do like go over the entire disk of the sun, try to see if there's anything else interesting. Yeah, there's this huge prominence over here. Nothing's really flying into space from here, but it's still pretty cool. Yeah. Okay, let's continue our full disk discovery here. A couple of more small prominences over here. Yeah, okay, and there's this huge one that I saw earlier. Looks like a party. Hey, how are you? And this is where, yeah, okay, so there's another prominence here which is also kind of beautiful because it goes to the upper right, upper left, sorry, but this thing is also interesting because there's this floating corona here. And there's this interesting part here, which is still floating above the surface. It's not flying into space. We don't know what will happen to this part. Maybe we go and see what's going on the surface. There are a few active regions that are interesting today. Let me just fix up the focus. Alright. So there's one part here. Yeah, so this sunspot has changed a lot since I've looked at it before. It was a lot bigger. It's kind of hard to see things when you're doing such a high zoom, high focal length. But when the visibility is good, you can see really amazing stuff. Like let me show you. So this is the video I took when I just connected the camera of this sunspot. You can compare it. So when visibility is bad, then you're better off with a smaller scope, doing like a full disk image. It's gonna look better. But with a full disk, you can never see these kind of details. Like see how these arcs are coming from one part of this sunspot to the other part. Sunspots are like huge magnets. Like imagine a magnet the size of Jupiter. There's I remember another. I remember there was another active region. Yeah, over here. Okay, so this one is pretty beautiful. Look at this. You can actually see like that. It's looking like a magnet. So this is like the North Pole, and this is the South Pole, and lines are coming off from one side and going to the other side. The center is very bright because it's very hot. try to do a time lapse of this area, but as I mentioned before, the visibility today isn't that good. I'll be back in a second. Just gonna get my phone. Hey, I'm back. So, I went outside just to see that I'm not like, overheating my telescope here. I think the visibility has improved a bit, so we can try to do a time lapse. I think, yeah, it does look a lot better than it was before. So look at these two sunspots. They're pretty amazing, right? Look at the way all this hydrogen plasma. Look at the way it's just curving. These are like two huge magnets. I think maybe even 4 magnets, because it looks like this one is one pole, the sunspot here, and this is the other pole, and then there's this one, and then another sunspot here. my scope is kind of boiling a bit because I see that the temperature of the camera is pretty high, but yeah, we are looking directly at the sun, so yeah. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna open a different software to allow me to take, you know, periodic captures of the sun, of these sunspots, just so I can later do a video, a time-lapse video of them. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. But before that, I want to do just one stack of the data that I've just captured, just to see how it looks. What's the quality of the atmosphere. Okay, so just hang on with me 1 second. I think I'm kind of overexposing here, so let me just reduce the exposure a bit. Yeah, you see the white areas are overexposed, so I'm just gonna reduce the light a bit. But yeah, the atmosphere is pretty stable today. So hello to everyone who joined. Let me just repeat what I just said. So I'm currently aiming my telescope towards the sun. It has a very advanced cooling system, so not to worry, it's not gonna burn. But of course, I wouldn't recommend this to anyone who doesn't know what he's doing. And so this is just a small part of the sun, because I'm very zoomed in. This is a very high zoom in, and these are small sunspots on the surface of the sun. I can show you with NASA's probe the way they look from afar. So let me open. Let me go to SOHO website. SOHO is the NASA's probe. Yeah, okay. So if I go here, we can see the full disk of the sun, and what we're currently looking is just at this area here, this small area here, which has these sunspots. We can also go over here. It's also an interesting area. So these two sunspots are those here. Okay. Okay, cool. So now I'm gonna hop over to the other software. Oh wait, let me just do another fast capture. I don't want to miss anything about this. It's such a rare opportunity to see